Yo, what is going on, everybody? Ladies, gentlemen, whatever you choose to identify. It is your boy Cam from Tweeking Media, back at it again, another week with our nerd culture podcast, Attack on Culture. I apologize for my voice. Your boy was at Six Flags all day yesterday, so my voice is shot. Try not to swear. Is what it is. We'll continue on with the podcast. Got my co-host with me. Got the boy Trail Sav. Go ahead and say what's up to the people.
Yeah.
And got the boy Chris J. Go ahead and say what's up to the people.
Yo.
So the three Sony, we are back. Got a lot to cover, got a lot of impressions, a lot of news going on in the gaming industry. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But before we get into that, real quick, you already know, show this video some love. If you're on the YouTube side, like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Click on that bell icon to notified of all future posts that we make on this channel. And share this video across all your fellow nerds. Help us get to 1K sub, guys. That is our goal for the end of the year. Also, be sure to check out all of the other content we have available on our channel. First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to the Musashi Pretty Derby community. Y'all some real ones, man. Y'all showed up and showed out. I did not expect the video that I put out as far as the banner pulls that I did to do that well. But hey, I appreciate y'all. And if you are here from that video, welcome. And I hope you're here to stay. We are some interesting Black Kings from Chicago, and we're here to provide y'all with some quality content. Aside from that, we also have Threes from the Ring, which is our sports nerd podcast with a more of an emphasis on wrestling and basketball teams. So, Chris, go ahead and tell the people, just give us a brief synopsis of what y'all covered on the latest episode and what's upcoming.
All right, so last episode we did cover the Western Conference, which that conference is going to be a war zone. So we deep dived into that conference. And on the wrestling end, we pretty much talked about John Cena's potential final opponent as the dates are getting closer and closer to his final wrestling appearance, and a couple other things as well. But next episode, we're going to talk about the season itself, because NBA season starts this upcoming week, actually Tuesday. So we'll give our MVP predictions. In wrestling wise, I think no pay-per-views, so we'll probably find something to talk about wrestling wise, but things have going on. So
there you go. So if you are someone who is also interested in hearing our takes on the sports related side of things, be sure to look out for Threes from the Ring content. Also, obviously, Gotcha on the Gotcha, that is where I cover degenerate gotcha gaming. So Uma Musume, Honkai Star Rail, Triple Z, Wuthering Waves, and Goddess of Victory Nikkei. So if you are interested in any of those IPs, you are a gooner like myself. Check that content out. And we also have our gaming review segment, Views from the Couch. This is where Daytrail and I go over a little bit more in depth of games that we can't really give too much of our time while we do the podcast. Got something coming down the pipelines, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So with all that, in social media, links are in the description box below. But Twitter at Attack on Culture, Facebook, Tweeking Media, and TikTok at YTM Clips. Again, links are in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to be going over a video game, because Daytrail and I play video games, and Chris actually played a video game too. She'll talk about a little bit later. But we want to give you guys some of these are not reviews, because again, me and Daytrail, we like to play games. We don't just play games for 2 hours and call it a review. These are just initial impressions, how we feeling about the game so far. And Views from the Couch is where we kind of go more into depth on an actual review of the game and give you more the nitty gritty of whether or not we think you should play the game or not. But for me, I'm going to be starting off with a big one. So I'm going to try to style this in a way that, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on in terms of Pokemon, right? As a IP, as a brand. A lot of people have a lot of feelings towards this IP. Like, I understand. I absolutely hated Scarlet and Violet. I know a lot of people kind of have a soft spot for that game. I think it might be a hot take. I think that game was way worse than Sword and Shield. Way worse. Like, literally, I think Sword and Shield is like a masterpiece compared to Scarlet and Violet. And then you also have Legends Arceus, which is Legends Arceus is like the perfect Pokemon game, and the only thing that held it back was that it was released on the Switch. That's it. So there's a lot going into this. This is the Switch 2's. This is the first major Pokemon game of the Switch 2. And so, what are my honest thoughts and opinions about it? I bought the game. I've been playing it for a minute, pretty much this whole weekend, aside from obviously yesterday when I was preoccupied hanging out with some friends. But I have been playing that game as many chances I've able to get into it. And so far, it's okay. Now, all I'm gonna say is this game is not worth getting a Switch 2 for, first and foremost. This is not like go out right now if you don't have a Switch 2 and you are a Pokemon fan, you absolutely need a Switch 2 and you absolutely need to get this Pokemon game. No, if there's any Switch 2 game that you need to get a Nintendo Switch 2 for, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza, hands down, game of the year contender. I've already gone into that in a previous podcast episode. However, as someone who thoroughly enjoyed Arceus, I loved it. Probably top 3 Pokemon game of all time, in my opinion. I'll start with some of the initial responses I had playing in this game. It'll be pros and cons mixed in between. I will say what the biggest complaint I have so far is Game Freak stop being cheap. Zelda got the memo with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Hire voice actors. There's absolutely no way that you have this game has cutscenes, actual dedicated cutscenes in which I mean like full motion cutscenes in which there should be voice, but it's not. So it makes the cutscene very awkward. It makes it kind of funny in some instances because it's just like you're just staring at somebody doing like like that trash. It's trash. The presentation is trash in that regards. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I noticed when because I mean the game kind of like throws you into the world. This takes place in the X and Y world. I think it's Lumios is what it's called. And so you kind of get an introduction to the world, the environment, and essentially in Lumios, the whole goal that they want to do is cohabitation between Pokemon and humans. And the way they do that is by these wild zones. These wild zones are where Pokemon can do whatever they want to. You go into that wild zone, you basically risking your own life essentially because there are some alpha Pokemon in this game, and they will F you up if you are not prepared. And then they also are holding this tournament called the ZA Royale, where basically every night they have these battle zones in which you go into to fight other trainers. You collect these points, in which once you collect a certain amount of points, you can use it as a ticket to promote yourself into the next rank. It goes from rank, you start at rank Z, and it goes all the way to A, hence the name ZA Royale. So there's that. Your main character, I will say another thing is that in Arceus, even though the main character was a blank slate, it still kind of made sense because the overall way they introduced the world of Arceus was like you got isekai into the world. So it's like you're a stranger in this unfamiliar land, do something. In this game, it's like, what the heck am I here for? Like your character just hops off a train, you meet you depending on the gender that you choose, you meet your I guess your rival of the game. I think if you choose a female avatar, his name is Urbane. If you choose a male, I don't know what the male name is or the female name is. It's like Talos or something like that. I don't know. But basically you meet up with them and then they're just like, hey, you should like join my team and protect Lumios. Like there's no goal. Like I know the main character is supposed to be a blank slate, but at least what's my reason for being there? It makes no sense. So that's another thing. I will say a big positive of this game is the performance is really good. I don't know. I've been hearing some conflicting things about performance. If you are having bad performance, you may be arguing it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Alleged means, but on the actual Switch 2, because I've been playing this on my actual Switch 2, I have not run into any performance issues at all. The game runs buttery smooth. Undocked, it's fine, and even I have been docked, it's fine, and undocked. I've been playing both docked and undocked. I have not run into any perform. And trust me, I'm not shilling for Pokemon. If you've been on this podcast, I have called out Pokemon and Game Freak a lot, so I'm not shilling for them. I'm not, but I'm also not gonna look for stuff to complain about the game about. That's not my style. I have not run into any performance issues. Gameplay wise, this is where it gets divisive. Um, a lot of people, this is going to be hit or miss for a lot of people. I am somewhat in between. I think I see where they're going with the gameplay, but it's missing a lot. A lot. So essentially, it's more of an MMO style. It's not turn based at all anymore. Basically, and there's no more PP. You can't PP anymore in Pokemon, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you view it. It's everything is on a timer. So you still have 4 moves. Everything is set to a timer. You attack. Gotta wait for you target a Pokemon that you're fighting. You attack them. You gotta wait for your timer to get back before you use the spell again. And it's kind of active time. So there's no like you select the command and the game freezes. Everything is actively going on at the same time. So again, this is divisive. You may like that. You may not like that. Again, I'm somewhat in the middle. I think that as far as like from a main story perspective, I don't see a big issue with the gameplay as far as like doing what you got to do with like your main team. I don't care about ranked, but there are some people who do. There's gonna be a lot of broken stuff. I'm only imagining that ranked is gonna be an imbalanced mess because there are so many abilities in that game that now that you don't have any more PP and everything is kind of based on like target areas, or like it applies to the whole party and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that can get really imbalanced real quick. So depends on how you feel about that. But other than that, again, the OST solid. I mean, Pokemon. I mean, even in the Pokemon has the same blessings that Sonic has, in which Sonic can have an absolutely terrible game, but the OST will always hit. It's the same thing with Pokemon. Even if Pokemon has like Scarlet and Violet, I don't like that game. OST is really good, so that's good. But I will say another thing is I like I guess the team or the characters in ZA, in my opinion, are solid. From a like, I don't know if I'm not saying that like they're like the best characters ever in the entirety of the Pokemon series, but like these are characters in which like they're not like nothing burgers. Like they actually have personality. They actually have a lot of back and forth camaraderie between each other, and it feels like it's a solid cast. In my opinion, again, just based off of what I've been playing, and I haven't finished the game so far. So hey, maybe it can all go downhill, but they're solid from what I can tell. And also shout out to the Rule 34 community. Y'all are about to eat. There is one character in particular. It is essentially, I guess it's the electric type gym leader. There's no gym leaders in the game, but you fight like this basically Twitch streamer. I guess Pokemon has this because this happened in Scarlet and Violet too. And I think it happened in Sword and Shield, where like they have their electric type gym leader who is a like famous VTuber or Twitch streamer. It's the same thing in ZA. So, and as soon as I saw her design, I was like, yep, Rule 34 artist, I'm about to eat up with this character. So, hey, there you go. You guys have a W, you creeps. But other than that, if I were to give a early impressions rating, again, I'm not shilling for Pokemon at all. This is just based off of my time playing the game. And like I said before, this isn't something that I think you should rush out and get because the game is $70. I don't think it's worth $70. I would give this game a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. Above average, in my opinion. I still think personally, even based off what I've been playing so far, I think Arceus is still better. Again, the only thing holding that game back was its performance, in my opinion. And obviously the story sucked too, but it is what it is. It's a Pokemon game. We don't play Pokemon games for story. But other than that, solid, in my opinion. And I know some people are going to disagree with me. hey, let me know. You hate the game? Do you love the game? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm not gonna take your opinion serious if you didn't play it. I'm sorry. This is one of those games where it's like I I can understand you hating the game because of the state of Pokemon is not good, and I agree with you on that matter. But I do think that what ZA is I see the vision. There's a solid foundation. Even more so that they took the foundation of what made Arceus so great, and they took some things where I think they improved on, and they took some things that I think they needed to kind of go back to the kitchen and cook a little bit more on. But aside from that, I have been enjoying my time playing the game, and I can't lie about that. I'm not going to lie about that for views. Uh, so other than that, moving on to another game that I have been playing a little bit on and off as well, which is Hades 2. We talked a little bit about this in a previous podcast, like way earlier. I can't even remember which episode we've talked about Hades 2 on, but I went ahead and got the game on Steam and I played a couple of hours into it. Um, like if you've played Hades 2 currently right now, the farthest I got was confronting Kronos, and I think I got to his second phase of the fight. I know there's a lot more to the game than that, but again, just for a brief summary, just in case you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So Hades 2, I don't know if it's because I didn't really finish Hades 1, so I don't necessarily know if this is like a direct sequel or if it takes a place alongside the first game. But essentially, Kronos, who, if you don't know Greek mythology, is the father. He's a Titan, controls time. He's the father of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Wanted to eat his children to take this power so he can be even more stronger than he already is, because simply having control of time is not enough, even though you have control over time. But hey, Greek mythology is what it is. You are the daughter of Hades and I think it's Persephone. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. I forgot Melionde. Meliode. I think that's her name. And you want revenge. He basically destroyed the house of Hades. I think he killed Persephone and he sealed off Hades somewhere. And so now your goal is to go and kill him. And if you played Hades, it's the same formula. It is a rogue-like game where you try to get as far as you can. If you die, you start all over again. However, but you can enhance certain traits and stats to help your journey to get to, the final boss or whatever is whatever is blocking your story progress the most, and to get to a longer point. So that's kind of it. It is a very, very addicting game. I think the day two of me playing the game, like I had to go to sleep to get ready for work, and I was like, all right, you know what? So I'm just gonna do one more run, and that one more run turned into 5 more runs because I was like, okay, hold on, I got this far. If I change this build or if I use this weapon, I could do something different. So it is a very addicting gameplay loop, similar to kind of how a lot of roguelikes will do. So I think that if you were a fan of Hades 1 and you were holding out on, or if you're somebody who's looking for a nice game to sink your teeth into, it is cheap too. It's $30. And you will definitely get your money's worth. Definitely supporting a good indie game, and I can see why a lot of people are saying this is also another potential game of the year, which goes to mind what we said in our last podcast, that this has been a incredibly stacked year for video games. So all in all, Hades 2, I think it's well worth it. Again, if I were to give a early initial impressions, if you want a rating, if you care about 8 ratings, I give it a solid 8. And I'm definitely going to continue to play the game. I got too many games to play. Again, first world problem, but hey, I like having that. I like having that sort of problem, especially dealing with the crap that we have to deal with now, which I'm not gonna get into. But yeah, so far, good experience. Recommend it, and we can move on to the boy Trail Sav, who has been sinking his teeth into the quote unquote Call of Duty killer, even though Call of Duty killed itself. Battlefield didn't really do much, but go ahead, give us your thoughts and opinions on Battlefield 6.
Yeah, no. So Battlefield 6 is great. There's no other way to explain it. It's a really good game. I think they took what people didn't like about 2042. I think that's the name of it, and they fixed it and then added some stuff. Of course, you're not gonna make everybody happy. And with this, there are some people in the fan base who don't like certain things, but just for me, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself on I would say I'm enjoying myself more than I did on 2042, even though I actually like 2042. There's not that many Battlefield games I dislike. I think the only one I probably really couldn't like is 5. I don't even know if I bought that one. But I did play it like when it was free, but I don't know if I actually spent money on that one. But Battlefield 6 is amazing. And one thing I appreciate is that the community is also getting behind it. It's this one meme, and it involves a bunch of. If you're familiar, and this is about to sound crazy, but if you're familiar with ISIS memes, you will know the song that's behind that. I don't know the name of the song, but Battlefield people know what I'm talking about. It is basically these people using a rocket launcher, and we know what type of rocket launchers they use. And they say they killing vehicles, and one of the memes is metal horse blew up and metal bird out of sky. And it's the funniest thing ever. Where just some music in the background like hum dum da da, and you just go in the comment section, and it's nothing but people saying Allahu Akbar. It is the funniest thing ever on TikTok right now. But it is a great, great game. It's fun. Nobody's taking it seriously. If you look at like some of the Call of Duty people looking at that game, it's one of a Call of Duty dude coming out. He's like, why am I playing Medic? Why am I going to waste the game? Why am I going to waste my game to res somebody? And niggas looking like, it's a mechanic of the game. We all like to play it. That's the reason. Nobody cares about KD and Battlefield like that.
I've heard some garbage takes on that game.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I don't like getting stumped on throughout the whole entire match. It sucks. But in terms of just like in a Battlefield game of having fun, it's all about chaos. I had some fun. When I'm playing with the homies, I'm having fun. When we squatting up and stuff like that, it's a great time. Took some time to get used to. I would say my biggest gripe with the game, though I think it's good, my biggest gripe with the game, it's kind of like the lighting. The lighting's a little weird. You got to go into settings and touch that in terms of like seeing your enemy and things of that nature. That's just a personal thing. It might be perfect for you, but for me, sometimes that smoke, it's honestly look like I'm going to the pearly gates. And because I can't see through the smoke, my character actually goes to the pearly gates and die. So, but it's good. It's fun. It's amazing. Battlefield 6 is a fun game. So if you was thinking about buying it, I'll definitely say cop it. If you know for a fact that you're not about to spend a whole bunch of time playing a Battlefield game, then you can wait for a sale, wait for it to become free in like a year or two, and then hop on. But if you was really trying to sink your teeth into like a first-person shooter and or a Battlefield game, I think Battlefield 6 is the game for you. A lot of people playing it on Steam, a lot of people playing it on console. It's gonna have some steep competition this year of keeping people engagement because the Black Ops fans saying Black Ops cold. And if you've been anywhere on first-person shooter or shooter algorithm anyway, Arc Raiders is freaking taking over right now. So, but if you're a Battlefield fan, you probably already got the game. And if you thinking about hopping on that bandwagon, come on through. The community is really chill too. So it's great.
There you have it. And also, according to XQC, the game is gonna die because there's no battle pass. So there you go. Battlefield 6 is going to die pretty soon.
It's the EA game.
Also, according to a lot of other Call of Duty streamers, their game does not have a battle royale. So that game is going to really suck if it doesn't put a battle royale in there soon. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you have Battlefield 6. How you feeling about it so far? How you feeling about no battle pass and no battle royale? What are your honest thoughts on that?
It's gonna get a battle royale soon, so don't worry on that. It's literally confirmed. It probably happened at the end of November or sometime around that. But
battle royales are for streamers, bro. Nobody cares.
I don't look, bro.
It's just so funny seeing like the Call of Duty copers just like go onto Battlefield and basically go like, okay, guys, we don't like the current state of Call of Duty, so let's go over to Battlefield and basically let's make Battlefield the very thing that we've been complaining about.
You know what that remind me of? God, Cam, you know what that remind me of? How Battlefield fans want to make, how Call of Duty fans want to make Battlefield Call of Duty. You know what that remind me of? There was a certain subgroup of a community who hated everything that the devs did, hated the community. All they did was complain about when a character get buffed and nerfed. And then a competitor came out. And it was like, you know what? This competitor is going to kill this game that we hate so much. So let's all go over here and ruin that game. This Battlefield and Call of Duty talk reminds me just like God darn Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, bro. Well, when Marvel Rivals came out, it was like the children of Israel after they got past the Red Sea. They was like, man, thank you, Lord. You giving us this milk and honey. We all good.
Eating good.
2 days later,
man, I'm
let's
hungry.
correct this golden calf. Let's see what this is about. You know what I'm saying?
God ain't feeding us, man. What's going on?
The Philistine and Canaanites over there? Yeah, you know what? We ain't gonna fight them. We're gonna run and hide. You know, they are, I swear, I can't stand that because I don't play the games no more. People think I be capping when I say I'm done with a game. Yo, I'm done with a game. But I always have my algorithms set to games that I played and stuff like that. So I see a Marvel Rival streamer talking and things about, oh, what happened? Why did this game get to the way it has been?
Man.
What happened? Look in the mirror. Like, it's you. Man. You're the one who did this. The devs literally don't take this game serious. It's all about fun. Everybody is meant to be broken. Oh, wait, Cam. This also reminds me about another community. I remember there's an anime that has like history of making really, really good games. They end up making like a 2D fighter and everybody freaking loved it. But eventually that 2D fighter, ran its course and things of that nature. Then that anime game franchise decided to revive a dead series. And they brought it and raised it from the dead. And they was like, hey, man, I can't wait to play this. It's going to have all the new characters plus the old ones. And then the devs was like, hey, it ain't meant to be taken competitive. The next thing you know, these RFK brainworm niggas decided to be like, you know what? Let's make this game the worst possible experience for everybody that plays it. They took that game and created the worst, toxic, and disgusting community. Purposely found loopholes and broken stuff to not make that game fun. And then they go on Twitter and TikTok and be like, man, I paid $100 for the Ultimate Edition. What a waste of money. Why did this game turn out this way? Nigga, because of you. You did this. You ruined Budokan Tenkaichi, whatever the ending name of that goddamn game is. You ruined it. You did that. I don't know where that came from. As the people in the church say, I guess it was sitting in my spirit. But I can't stand you niggas, bro. I can't. I'm about to get off this impressions, but from some of the stupid stuff I saw because, fighters getting a revamp, and some of them Tenkaichi niggas coming out and say the game was never bad in the first place. You gonna tell that to the other 200 niggas that's still playing that goddamn game. Like, don't come to me or come on these public spaces and say the game wasn't that bad. Nigga, you created hell. You created hell on earth, my nigga. And you expect
y'all
niggas
care
to
way
be
too
like,
much about that rank mode.
bro, you
Most want to
expect
be the
niggas to
GOAT,
be like,
G. That's the issue. Competitive
we want to keep playing
gaming
that
should
game
never
no matter
made
what.
competitive spaces, G. That's what
Bro.
killed gaming. Competitive spacing, G. That's why 2K is ass. That's why
Niggas
fighting
thought they
game
was-
communities ass. Because
Niggas thought they
Mubs
was
want to
gonna
be the
build a
greatest
streaming
ever.
career off Tenkaichi, bro. No.
Mubs want to be the greatest ever, G. No. Enjoy your $70 to $100 spent and have fun. That's the purpose of gaming, G. It's to have fun.
Fun doesn't exist anymore, bro.
I know, man.
I
But
gotta-
once
I gotta
again,
cru- I gotta
this is
crush my
this is the comment of me. Have fun,
I
my nigga.
gotta crush my enemies, bro. I can't have fun no more. I gotta get to number 1 on my leaderboard.
Get some
But yeah.
coochie.
I
Bad
completely
Battlefield.
agree. I completely agree with
That's
that.
my question. Bad Battlefield. I ain't got no score. It's a shooting game. Did I have fun? Yeah, about a game, bro.
There you go.
I ain't got no deep thoughts on that one.
There you go.
Oh wait, it got a story mode too. Never touched it. I don't think I'm ever gonna touch the story.
That's like only for
seriously.
that's like only for like super diehard
Bro,
Battlefield.
nigga said I went down to me. I'm like, story. Who playing this, bro?
Only the diehards. But hey, traditionally those campaigns tend to do well according to people who play them. So there you go. But yeah, there we go with Battlefield 6 impressions. Again, let us know in your comment section below what you think about it, and also what Trail talked about as far as like the communities themselves ruining video games. And next, like I mentioned before, we teased this. Chris actually played a game. So let's take a moment. Let me pause the music real quick.
It's the fact the music has to be paused. But yeah.
Let's give a round of applause.
I know.
Chris's Paperweight, which also happens to be a PS5, has actually had some life breathed into it. So Chris is going to tell us about his thoughts on a game we previously talked about. But again, we want to give this a special segment because Unk actually touched his controller. So Chris, go ahead and give us your impressions on Ghost of Yotei.
All right, so I'm gonna be quick because, like I said, like Cam and them already talked about it last episode. I have to give my thoughts because I wasn't present, but this is a really, 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 really great game. If you haven't purchased it, purchase it. My experience, I'm pretty much about to touch the second boss fight, but overall, I'm doing a lot of exploring. Great world. Main character, she's awesome. Anybody that's hating on her, you got issues and you need to know the warmth of a woman or just the warmth of love as a whole. But I'm all for this vengeance story. I'm all for the world in itself. This is a very huge map and I'm just enjoying the environment, exploring. Also, the other day, ran into a bear on accident.
Oh,
yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Mystical would lose in this world in terms of the bears, but really great game. I'm enjoying it. Gameplay is really good. I'm enjoying the switching between the sword styles and all that is really good. And I'm just making my I really forgot her name just that fast. I'm really bad at it. Atsu. Just make sure she's dripped out. That's my main thing right now. Make sure she's dripped out, enjoying the world in itself. And yeah, but overall, I'm enjoying the game. It's really, really great. If you haven't bought it yet, buy it and enjoy yourself. And don't play these multiplayer games trying to be the world's greatest. Just enjoy yourself and have fun. That's what games supposed to be, fun. Okay.
Yeah, that's an Unk tape. We play video games to crush our enemies. But yeah, there we go.
You can crush your enemies on this game. That's the purpose of Ghost of Yotei. Atsu wants to crush her apps.
But I want to do that to other people online, not to the CPU.
Hey, when the online mode drop, you can do it. Well, shoot, you can't crush.
No, you can't.
You're co-oping with your enemy. Sorry,
exactly.
You can kill. You can get all the kills when the online mode drops.
Yeah, that's for the weak. Only the strong play PvP. But yeah, there we go. That's all we have as far as games are concerned. So if any of those games that we talked about, you played them, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We want to engage with y'all. Moving on to anime. I did mention this like I think previous podcast episode that we would talk a little bit more once Chris came on and once the 3 episode week rule came into effect, which is actually this week. So Chris and I are going to tell you guys our thoughts so far on the current, what we've been watching, and how we feel about the current fall season of anime for 2025. So I'll start because I do have a lot of stuff on my list, but because I've been taking care of some other stuff, I really only touched on 2 anime in particular, which I'm actually kind of glad about because last season, for the summer season, I didn't really watch a lot of romance anime. So this season has a lot of romance anime, and Chris and I are going to talk about that. Again, the 2 that I watched, I'm going to add more to my list, but aside from the things that carried over from last season, that being Togen Anki, and I believe Gachiakuta. I'm also watching, one of them is My Awkward Senpai. So very brief synopsis of the show. It's a workplace romance. Thank God. I'm sick and tired of high school romances. I just am. I watch them, but I'm tired of them. So this, takes place, basically the main character is like, basically like she's portrayed to be like this really strict, but she knows how to do her job well. Everybody is like, they respect her, but they also kind of fear her. But it turns out she's a klutz. She's very awkward. Socially awkward. Can't hold conversations. Is always fighting with herself internally, and so she gets tasked with training her kohai, and he's a new up and comer, and he kind of picks up on her awkwardness, but like he doesn't view her teachings as strict or anything like that. He can sense that like she does kind of care about his growth within the company. So I haven't watched episode 3. I know episode 3 is currently out yet, but I've only watched up to episode 2. But I'm liking the dynamic so far. I like the moment, I believe it was in episode 2, where like her co-workers were talking trash behind her back, which is very reflective of how corporate America, if you've worked in any place in corporate, very reflective of how they will literally talk trash to you while you're in the room. And so they talk trash. He walks up to him and is like, you know what? She's nice to me, and I can't wait to learn more about the job and get more instructions from her. Really solid move. Respect on that. So yeah, it seems like a really good show. And it's definitely, even though I didn't watch episode 3, it is going to be, I am going to continue watching this anime until it's fullty. The second show I've been watching is called Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. So a brief description of this: essentially, the main character is the class representative of her class. They get a student. I think he's a transfer student, or I don't know if he's a transfer. I think he's a transfer student. His name is Yano, but he always comes into class injured, and he sits next to the main character, and she's always like worried about like what the heck is going on. At first, I was very worried that this could go in a very, dark direction where like there's some domestic abuse at home. Thankfully, they kind of quell that. Like at episode 1, you come to find out that he is extremely clumsy, and I mean very clumsy. Dude bumps into walls. He like slams his fingers. He's always getting injured. So he literally like he's a walking disaster. I think it was in episode 2. He almost got ran over by a car, but he was able to avoid it by like running fast. But since he ran fast to avoid the car, he couldn't stop, and he bumped his head against the concrete wall, and he had to go to the hospital for a couple of days. So he's very injury prone. So the female main character, she establishes by episode 1 that she has a crush on him, but she kind of wants to get to know him as like a friend. And so she's like, hey, Yano-kun, what is it that you want? She's like, I want to live an ordinary high school life. And so she wants to help him with that. And also she says she wants to treat his injuries as well, because she always brings a medical kit with her everywhere she goes. So it's a very cute, wholesome anime. So again, I didn't watch episode 3, but this is an anime that I am going to be continuing to watch because I like the dynamic between the two, and him being clumsy. I just want to see what type of shenanigans he gets up to. So those are the 2 fall anime I have been watching so far. And Chris, I'll hand the reins to you.
Yeah, I'm also gonna co-sign my Aqua Senpai. That's one of them ones for this season. Uh, I'm all for, just before I go into my thing, adult slice of life. G, we don't
Yes.
have many of them, and this season actually has the most I've seen in recent memory. Cam talked about two of them. I'm gonna bring up one more, but if you watch my preview, pretty much most of them I'm watching except for One Punch Man and a couple other ones. But for me, I'm gonna just start off with My Hero. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even watch My Hero the last 2 seasons, mainly because I was like, look, some of this I really do not want to see. I would probably watch the clips, mainly like the Star versus Shigaraki fight and stuff like that. But I ain't really care about watching My Hero like that. But the final season actually had moments I really wanted to see. Prime example, the first 3 episodes, All Might versus All for One, or is it One for All? Whatever his name is. I always get the shits mixed up. But I had to see that because I knew in the manga how that was drawn and written really good. I was emotionally invested into that moment specifically, plus everything else afterwards. The animation crew understood the assignment. They added on moments, but it was just the moment in itself between All Might and All for One was just really freaking great, G. Really freaking great. The emotional aspect, even leading up to, look, at this point, who cares? Spoilers. If you don't want to hear My Hero spoilers, fast forward probably like 30 seconds. But even leading up to the moment when Bakugo comes back, even though we're very critical about Bakugo on this podcast, but that moment was really great because you felt like, dang, he's about to really rip All Might in half. But it didn't happen. I was like, please. Like, I was one of the moments, I was like, you rooting even though you know what's going to happen. I was like, this was amazing. So shout out to the animation team. You guys about to give us that bogus backstory I don't really care for about a dude who eats ales for a living. But overall, really, really great. Shout out to them for a good start. Spy Family, you guys know I'm a Spy Family stan on this podcast.
I as well.
Cam as well. But first episode was pretty cool. Got an introduction to pretty much reintroducing the characters, Lloyd and the family, Anya and Yor and the dog. I forgot his name, but reintroducing them and just their shenanigans and stuff like that. Very lighthearted episode. Second episode, Anya's school episode, but it leads to us learning Yoit's past, actually.
Oh, they're in that part? Okay.
Yeah. So episode 3 was just them pretty much showing like, hey, this is how this man became who he is now, as the spy and all of that. And I'll be honest, that backstory was pretty damn sad. Seeing like, bro thought his people exploded, his homies exploded. You walk out the bomb space, you go run into your mama house. And G, I understand why my man's is how he is, G. I get it. I'll be wanting to smoke too, G. But
and one important thing about the backstory is that they never reveal what his real name is.
That is well, like they censored it, and then I think he even made when he signed up for the army, it was a really fake name as well. So overall, we really don't know what his real name is still. Might be told in the manga. I don't read the manga, but
I'm fully caught up. No.
Damn. So we still don't know Buddy's name. So, but either way, really good backstory. It makes me really respect this character even more. So if you haven't watched Spy Family, please do so. It's wholesome greatness, as I continue to say. Now, a couple things. I'm gonna be real quick with this one. I did binge 2B Hero X because Cam highly recommended it. Really, really, really great. It definitely earns its place for one of the anime of the year. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out. Definitely did their thing. I do recommend you people pay attention to all the hero stories because towards the end they all blend together really well. Yeah, so please pay attention. This is not one of those things you can just
watch in the background.
Yeah, you have to pay attention because I had to rewatch a couple episodes because I was like, wait, what? How did this go into this? Mainly Queen stuff. But either way, check it out. 2B X is really one of them ones. Then now a couple of things, the low key stuff from this season. For this to be the fall anime season, there's really only one true slightly horror based anime, or at least like scary anime, because normally the fall season is supposed to be full of that stuff. The Monster That Wants to Eat Me. Now this is very interesting in itself. It features the main character, her name is Hanako. Her parents died like when she was a kid, and then people just look at her crazy, and she's kind of fake suicidal. So if you not into depression, don't watch this. But pretty much a yokai pretty much pops a mermaid yokai pops up and says, "Hey, look, I'm gonna eat you, but not yet, not yet." And so pretty much is the adventures of this bond between the two of like, hey, Hanako's like, why don't you just kill me? And she's like, nah, I want to make sure you good. I want to make sure you happy, good, and all of that. So I'm curious on where this leads to in regards to that story. But it's not bad if you
interesting premise, yeah.
So, but the main character is really freaking sad, really freaking sad. The mermaid yokai character, she's pretty much one of the happiest characters. Also, the Hanako's best friend is what I forgot her name. I think it's Shiori. Might be getting the characters mixed up, but she's also very happy because you need two happy people to balance out this extremely depressed character, which I understand. Her parents died at a very young age. I get it. So you're lonely. Then this my last anime I'm talking about is if you watch my preview, it's the BBW anime, as I call it, Plus Size Adventures in Love. Now, this actually, once again, I will say, is a lot better than I thought. And also, if you're looking for adult-based slice of life anime with some romance, this is one of them ones. So the story follows Yumiko. So it's 3 episodes in. We still don't know what exactly caused her to get amnesia, but she was low self-esteem, big chick, and all of that. And she got amnesia from falling down some stairs, and now she's like a full confident plus size girl and all of that. And she works. The funny thing is, if you watch this in My Awkward Senpai, both MCs have similar jobs where they both work in like marketing. So the funny how they blend. But
no, it's important to understand the Awkward Senpai. She works as marketing for Square Enix specifically. So my underlying theory is that anime is just a big PR stunt from Square Enix.
That's crazy. But the main character Yumiko, she's in the marketing field, and her former self doesn't talk because she wasn't confident, but she had a bunch of notes in terms of great marketing ideas. And at least in the first 3 episodes, just them navigating, like one of her coworkers was jealous and stole all her notebooks and was like, "Hey, yo, I got to do this presentation." But also another thing is just the in love aspect of it. So she has a crush. Her former amnesia self had a crush on this marketing president that works for her company, and she met the guy and was like, "Oh, what? You know what? This dude is neat." So now she has the confidence to actually talk to the guy and stuff like that. So pretty much they're introducing more on terms of that dynamic as well too. But if you like adult slice of life,
is it romance, I have it on my list. Is it a recommendation?
I recommend it so far.
Okay.
The first 2-3 episodes I watched has been decent. It's good comedy. It's nothing really crazy. Of course, there will be some fat shaming in there, but it's based in Japan. If we had to see the percentage of plus size people in Japan outside of sumo wrestlers, it's probably a very small percentage. So I'm pretty sure they fat shame a lot, but it's actually entertaining. It's not over the top. It's nothing too goofy, but it's pretty good.
Oh, there you have it. So if any of these anime that we talked about, if you watched it, or if there are some ones on the list that we have not talked about that you have been watching that pass your own personal 3-week episode rule, let us know in the comment section below, and we may or may not check it out. Is what it
Probably
is.
Not. Look, what we got is what we got.
I might check it out. I give you a might. But aside from that, we are done kind of keeping up with stuff that we've been reading, watching, and playing. Now on to gaming or just news in general, but mainly most of the news we're talking about. We got some anime stuff, but mainly gaming stuff as far as news is concerned. So first things first. So this is something that kind of happened a little bit last year, and we got a few updates this week as well. It pertains to Xbox. This more so has to do with the hardware of Xbox at retailers. So for Costco specifically, it has been confirmed by Costco that they are no longer selling Xbox consoles. They quoted it as like a business decision. Basically, y'all ain't making us no money, man. we are wasting shelf space on these paperweights, and it's not making us money, basically. So I mean, is what it is. We've talked about this at lengths in our previous podcast episodes. Like, at this point, there's no point in getting an Xbox. So I mean, I'm not necessarily siding with one corporate entity over another, but I can understand the decision to go like, hey, look, y'all, no one's buying this at all. It's just sitting here collecting dust. So why
we
would
let
we
an
continue
employee
to
steal it from the back and we ain't hurting?
right? So it is what it is regards to that. So Costco has confirmed that they are no longer selling Xbox consoles, but this also boiled over into other retailers. Now, this is kind of where the misinformation comes to a place, because essentially there were people saying that like, oh, well, Costco is, they confirmed that they're no longer selling Xbox consoles. I heard that Target and Walmart are no longer selling Xbox consoles, and that is false. Target and Walmart are still selling Xbox consoles. As of the latest update, which I literally searched for before we started recording, because I wanted to make sure that I'm not giving out any serious misinformation. Target and Walmart have confirmed that they are selling Xbox. Now, what people basically took that, I think it was Walmart was they are shrinking down their space in which they do gaming to about like 4 feet. So people took that as a sign of like, oh, they're no longer selling Xbox, which it's not true. They are still selling Xbox. I heard that there were some locations, and again, it's a lot of misinformation being spread. Some people have been reporting that their local Target or their local Walmart are no longer selling Xboxes. But as for like Target and Walmart, like the heads have confirmed that like, no, we are still selling Xbox consoles.
Yeah, they've been reshaping the digital thing has been in the works for probably 2 years now, because most people buy their game digitally. So they was going to always condense
the gaming space.
Yeah, the gaming space to me. Because back in the day, there used to be 2 aisles. When we were shorties, there used to be 2 aisles. Every system had their own thing they could play on. Nintendo had like 3. You used to be able to play on a Wii. Then you could turn over, there was a DS right there. And a PlayStation and stuff. And it gets condensed because the way we take in games changed. You know what I mean? So people buy them more digitally. As much as people talk about, it is a conversation that needs to be had of protecting, real media and hardware and things of that nature, because we don't own anything digitally.
Yeah.
People still buy digitally just because of comfort, because, easy access, reliability. It's not going to take, if I pre-order a game, it's not going to take 2 weeks in the Amazon driver to bring my game on release date. If I buy it digitally, it's going to be there at 11:35 at night. So, but yeah, and sometimes, kicking down on Xbox is fun. Trust me, it is fun. Especially when you got people who troll and say, this is an Xbox. When they got that little, that new handheld that came out.
Oh, yeah.
Because they playing Spider-Man on that, and I'm like, cool. You playing the game that we played.
I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into the Xbox.
And don't get me started with bro who left like a freaking 3-paragraph essay in our TikTok G over the Xbox video G.
Chicago education, brother. I ain't reading all that.
I'm a Dragon Ball fan, so
Oh God. All right, man. I power scale on One Piece, bro. I'm not reading. That's what I do for them. But No, but seriously, like I think kicking Xbox when it's down, and mind you, it's not down. Niggas are still taking bullets for a $3.4 billion company. So mind you, it's not down. But it can get tiring after a while when you watch somebody take so many L's that you wish they'd take a W. But Costco taking it out is because Costco has a chain. It's like, nigga, ain't nobody buying memberships for an Xbox. So
yeah, no, there's no one. Like we could be using that shelf space to put other products that would lead to sales.
You know what the other product will be? 9 times 10, that handheld that came out,
Switch
and
to
more PC builds.
Right.
People buying PC builds from Costco like it ain't nothing.
There you go.
Because one, it's some good deals for their PC builds. So like people go in there and buy their builds. And also, I want to tell you niggas this. We are in the last 2 years of this console cycle. If a nigga is being like, hey man, I couldn't get my first Xbox Series S or X, my nigga, that's on you, brother.
Right. I'm saying
go up to GameStop, do what you gotta do. We are in the tail end. I wouldn't be surprised if we get teasers at the game show. And if we don't get at the Game Awards, we most likely would get teasers at Summer Games Fest and around that time of the next systems that's coming out, bro.
Sony has already confirmed, I think they said it's 2027.
Holiday 2027.
Sony has already confirmed 2027 for PS6.
Mm-hmm.
So
the specs of these new systems kind of been leaking online for the last 2 years about Sony still, I think, what an AMD chip and stuff like that that's going to be in the console and stuff like that. And Xbox talking about, integrating like other storefronts and stuff on their console and things of that nature. So, again, Xbox is not dying. It might change up. You know what I mean? Things, they might diversify their portfolio, but it's not. Like, I hate the that was some weird misinformation. People saw like them putting Nintendo Switch games in an Xbox case and being like, "Oh no, Xbox!" And I'm like, brother, the Switch 2 just came out too. And then tell me the last time somebody bought a physical Xbox game.
I'm be honest. I'm be real honest. I could probably tell you because I used to do not. Well, people do buy controllers and they put them in a and I'd be like, damn. Sorry, bro, but you gotta wait 2 days. But I used to do Target orders, make a little side money. People was trying to get Xbox games, and I'd be like, "Hey, this Target down the street, they barely got games physical unless it's Madden." Sorry, bro. People are trying. That's all.
There you go. You get your Madden on Xbox Series X, which I mean, I'm praying for you. But yeah, that's again. As much as I like to kick a horse when it's down, Xbox is not going away from Walmart or Target. It's only been confirmed for Costco. Also, we did touch upon this a little bit in our last episode as far as like an update. Like we were saying, like, oh, what's going to happen to the future of Xbox when it comes to this next generation of hardware? So I believe it was Sarah Bond. There was an interview she did with, I forgot what news outlet, but she did an interview where she was confirming that basically they are working on like the next generation of Xbox hardware. Now, again, there's a lot of that can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily hard confirm Xbox, and I'm not saying it's either or, right? It means that yes, we are getting Xbox 720 or Xbox Series Z, whatever the heck they're going to call their newest Xbox hardware, or it could mean that they are shifting more so to, what they're doing with the Xbox Ally, or when it comes to the Xbox, like more so PC hardware. We don't know yet, but she did confirm that, like, yeah, we are working on hardware for the next generation. So we shall see what that means. And also, as far as that Xbox Ally ROG, I've been looking at a couple of videos, a couple of people who have gotten their hands on it for review purposes, and yeah, absolutely not worth $1,000.
$1,000
absolutely. The funny thing is you can't play Xbox games on there.
Yeah, that's the
You
weirdest
can't.
thing
You
ever,
cannot
bro.
play. You can only play. So it does have Game Pass, but you can only play games on there that are for PC. So like the PC Game Pass, you cannot play Xbox. Like so, if you have a digital store, like if you have digital purchases on your Xbox account in which you have some Xbox games on there, unless it is tied to the PC Game Pass, you cannot play it on your Xbox
You
Ally.
gotta hold that L.
It's like I think people, in the way it was marketed, you know, you might as well see this as Xbox, like when they put a Call of Duty game out. My nigga, we just the big daddy who funded this thing, but Activision made it. That's just a portable PC, bro.
Yeah, it might as well have been called Microsoft
Yeah.
Game Ally instead of just Xbox.
Chris, it's so much of a portable PC. When you boot it up, it is Windows boot up for the first time. So you gotta sign in to Microsoft. You gotta decline all
That's
the other stuff that
crazy.
you don't
You
want to
gotta
decline. It is literally like that, bro. Like when
In
you
order
set up
to-
a new laptop, it's just like that.
In order to like gain access to certain for performance modes, it has to be plugged in too.
So
Like,
you gotta plug to the wall.
you have to whatever you have. You have to plug it into an outlet in order to gain access to certain performance
Yo,
features.
that's kind of crazy, G.
So all in all, if you are someone who's like, you know what, I got a couple $1,000s that I can just put into the furnace.
Bro, get a Steam Deck.
Yeah, don't get the Xbox.
Deck.
I would say get a Switch 2, get a
That
Steam
too.
Deck, get
Invest in a
anything.
computer.
Yeah, take
That
that.
too.
Yeah, that's $1,000. You could
If
take
you
that
really
money,
just want
put
a
it into
game
a
on the
savings
go,
account.
If you really want a game on the go, just get a Steam Deck, get a Switch.
Or get a game, or
like,
get
a
a
lot of-
or get a gaming laptop. There are really
That
good gaming
too.
laptops that
Yeah.
are available for less than $1,000. You're good
you
to
know,
go.
like because a lot of games, in terms of like specs, bro. Like when people do the spec stuff and you need this to run a game, it's not that many games that's gonna push your 3-year computer to the limit, unless it's just optimized poorly, right? Also, like the factuation that I don't want to just say Xbox fans, but some people got having a different storefront on your console automatically makes it something crazy. Bro, I don't understand. They said, oh God, we can play Steam games on my Xbox console. Again, you can play Steam games on your PC too.
Right.
Because it's the same damn thing. It ain't no different. There's no difference. Like, now, if there's a way that can integrate everything, like, you know, it's not just the PC Game Pass no more, it's just full-fledged Game Pass, then I'll understand what you're saying. But it don't even have like an Xbox quote-unquote ecosystem, if you know what I mean, like in which you got a whole page dedicated to like all the Xbox stuff, and then you press it like Steam. You have to press a button, go down a little 2 seconds to enter the desktop version of that Steam Deck. It's just not a click. No, you got to press some buttons and then go to desktop, search internet, you know, do all the things that people who use internet on the handheld do. But the core of that Steam Deck is your Steam library, buying the game, set on Steam, and playing it. That Rogue Ally is the computer first, game system second, bro.
For the low price of $1,000.
Bro, you can get such a good PC for $1,000, bro. You can get a really good PC for $1,000
easily. And
this is not like a. And I want to say this because I'm gonna be hesitant to even clip this because niggas who be commenting on some of our stuff when we be realistic with video games be thinking we broke, bro. Like I want to look niggas dead in the eye. We try to help niggas save money, bro, and let you know, to judge with your wallet.
You saying that you spent $1,000 on the Rogue Xbox Ally is not the flex you think it is.
It really ain't.
My thing is like this,
like
bro.
Mugs tried to get at Cam for buying the Switch too. It's a $500 difference.
let me do it to you. People will complain to you about buying an iPhone, whatever, the iPhone, and it's like $1,200, $1,400. I don't know how much it'd be outright if you don't finance it. That iPhone can still do more than that goddamn Rogue Ally, bro. That's guaranteed. The iPhone get on the internet, it's gonna play some games, and don't blame me for saying this, but Xbox say your phone is a goddamn Xbox. So you can play your Xbox games on your phone.
Yeah.
Might be garbage.
You can get accessories that let you play stuff on your phone.
Might be garbage, but you can play it on there. That Rogue Ally is a search engine that can play Xbox games, bro. And if you're comfortable with paying $1,000 for that, cool. But my iPhone still has a better battery life than that thing. I don't care if they say that thing had 20 hours of battery life. I kid you. Week 2 is going to be 2 hours, bro.
Yeah, man,
Week 2 is going to be 2 hours. That battery is going to shrink. Same thing with my Steam Deck. Boy, I had that Steam Deck for all of a month before I had to keep putting that charger in there, dog. So we have to be realistic when we have conversations about it. If you are a person who don't care about all the things we said, you still gonna buy it, clap to you. But we talking to the people who looking at this, probably buying a Christmas gift or thinking about giving themselves something to be like, bro, there's probably some good things you can spend your money on. Like I was talking to Beans, and I was telling him when we was talking about like the Switch 2 and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, if Pokemon the only game that you're gonna buy, don't buy yourself a Switch 2.
Don't get Switch 2. No. It's
you know
not
what I'm
worth
saying?
it.
You about to waste some money. That's what? 4, 5. That's 500.
Like pretty much over $500.
Yeah, like $600 basically if you round up, because taxes on buying a console, which is like 500 and like 20. You got a $70 game. Our game tax on that, pretty paying like $600 or something for something that you're gonna pay probably 8 hours
just to play Pokemon. Is not.
Yeah, you know. No. So that's what we have these. Whenever we talk about games, reviewing them, things like that, though we joke and we stump on stuff, but it's all about telling you, like, hey, do you want to spend your money on this? You know what I'm saying?
Especially in this economy.
Cam can attest to it. It ain't nothing stupider than when we buy a game full price and we go back and look at our catalog and be like, bro, why the hell we buy that game, bro?
I bought Lost Souls Aside, bro. I bought that game, $70, and I only played like 2-3 hours of that game. Waste of money.
And I could go countless. Like y'all know me, there's only a few games I never platinum that I completed like through. I got 300 odd games in my game library. That's how you can tell how many dead games I bought that I never played again, bro. You know what I mean? So listen to us. We got some gems to drop for y'all, man.
Yep. So that's it as far as Xbox related news. Let us know what y'all think in the comment sections down below in regards to any of those topics. Now on to something that is 100% hope and cope at the same time. We got news about Dragon Ball. Raise the red alarms, because stop me if you have it, but we've been here before, right? So
got trouble before too.
So the 40th anniversary, which is crazy. That's how you can tell how old some of y'all are.
Say that number again.
40th anniversary. The 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball is coming up. So a lot of you old heads got something to really look forward to. But yes, major announcement. They're calling it the Dragon Ball Genki Damatsuri event, which Genki Dama is the spirit bomb. So it's kind of like that theme of like everybody share your energy with me type thing, right? So that is going to take place January 25th, 2026. So there is and basically they said, hey, there's going to be a lot of announcements. There's going to be a major game announcement, a new Dragon Ball game project that they've been working on that they're going to announce during the event. And they also announced another major announcement. This is where the cope comes in, because a lot of us are hoping
gloom and doom
that it is Dragon Ball anime coming back. I have like, the way I have it is it's like 20% Dragon Ball anime, 30% the Dragon Ball Super manga is returning, and then 50% we're getting another mobile game.
Have fun with that mobile
That's
game.
that's where my cope. That's where my cope is, because I'm telling y'all that Full Metal Alchemist 20th anniversary event has ruined any sort of hope I have for any anniversary event, because the major announcement for that Full Metal Alchemist event was that we were getting a mobile game. And guess what? Guess who published that mobile game? It was Square Enix. And if you know Square Enix has a history of canceling mobile games. So right now, if you search up, hey, what happened to that Full Metal Alchemist game that was announced during the 20th year anniversary? It's canceled. So I'm joking a little bit, but I do hope that it is some form of like the anime coming back, or maybe even a continuation of the manga, because I mean the last time we left off on the manga was UI Goku versus Gohan, and we did get that like bonus chapter of like Gohan and Gotenks like being like great Saiyamans or something like that. I forgot what they called themselves, so that was pretty cool. But on top of that, we also got some news about several other things. So the mobile games that are currently out right now, which is Dokkan Battle, Legends, and Genshin Squadra, those are going to get some announcements. We also have the card game, so Fusion World and Super Divers, which took over from the previous one. I forgot what was the other one called, Detrail?
Which
wasn't
one?
The Dokkan Battle. We have the collaboration every year with I forgot what they call those cards. It just stayed my mind.
The Fusion World stuff?
Not Fusion World. It was Super Divers, but before that, it used to be the other one. I'll look it up later and put it in like the comment. But basically, it became Super Divers. So that's that. So yeah, we got a lot of potential stuff. Obviously, we also have the Fighters DLC with Daima Goku dropping. So they'll probably say something about that. We'll probably get a trailer, maybe showcasing some gameplay or something like that at that event. Also, later on, I believe Sparking Zero is getting its Switch port released soon. So they'll probably announce something in relations to Sparking Zero potentially, because I think they still have one more round of DLC. So they'll probably announce that during that event as well. So we got a lot of good stuff to look forward to. They've marketed 2026 as the year of Dragon Ball. So we shall see what that means. But there's a lot of hope.
Look, if it is anything anime related, if it's Super, we celebrate. I'm just gonna tell y'all this: get ready for that Dragon Ball remake.
No, listen, a Dragon Ball remake is fire.
No, I agree. I would love that. Yes.
And I think that stops the whole, because the thing that makes it hopium is that people are fighting for that IP, basically.
Yeah, I know Shueisha and them going to war. Yeah,
it's Shueisha and Capsule Corp, right? Or something like that?
Whoever the heck it is. Shueisha,
it's crazy that the niggas call themselves Capsule Corp.
In the family. I
would love a Dragon Ball anime. I think the OG Dragon Ball is under freaking rated. It's really freaking good.
It is.
And it's grounded what people like or wanted Dragon Ball Z to be before people became edgelords. But I feel like that dude that was in that car that was getting stopped by the police that was like, "Save me, Donald Trump. Please don't." And I'm asking Akira Toriyama to please save me, Akira Toriyama. Get me out of this pit of non-Dragon Ballness, bro. I hope the manga comes back. I think Toya Toro, I think he got a chip on his shoulder because people don't think he like that.
He's been doing real good. In my opinion, he's been doing really good with the series. So I'm hoping that
I think he got a chip on his shoulder. I would love an anime, but I'm gonna be realistic with myself. Funimation basically puts all their budget into one thing and one thing only. So the chances of us seeing a high quality anime when Bronum is sitting there blowing cash on animation on that other series, the chances is really, really small. But either way it goes,
or it could be a movie. I wouldn't be
A
surprised.
movie
if
is
a
fire as well. A movie is great. Yeah. I was gonna say something crazy, but I'm enjoying this One Piece arc, so I'm gonna save it for when this One Piece arc is over. I would just say for us Dokkan fans, they just about to tease the 11th year anniversary.
Yeah, it's gonna be 11th anniversary.
Damn.
Legends will probably do something in relations to like some campaign because they usually do like campaign arc celebrations. Genshin Squadron will probably announce characters, the next round of characters that are going to be coming out in that game. So there you have it.
But
It's
I want
again,
to ask y'all this, and
what's
this
up?
would be perfect before we get off of it. So since they saying it's a new game, what would you want to see the Dragon Ball IP do in terms of a new game? What would y'all want to see?
They have. I've said this before when we talked about this. They have a solid foundation with Kakarot. Kakarot laid was the game like the best? No. But they had a solid foundation with Kakarot. Now, I genuinely, if you actually make a great open world action RPG style Dragon Ball game that specifically focuses on not only just arcs, but the series itself, like a game dedicated to Dragon Ball Kakarot, maybe a retelling or a retake on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Dragon Ball GT Kakarot, Dragon Ball Super Kakarot, Dragon Ball Daima Kakarot, like actually like taking that foundation of like, again, because you give Cyber Connect the bag. I'm talking about you hire them specifically for cutscenes, right? You get them to animate and you do a retelling of, like Dragon Ball, Goku doing the Ozero fist through Piccolo, freaking Vegeta fans, y'all took an L on this, but Vegeta actually doing the final flash against Perfect Cell, them animating that. Super, Goku going Mastered Ultra Instinct for the first time, Daima, Goku turning Super Saiyan 4. Like you give Cyber Connect to the bag when it comes, and you have them all just do cutscenes, and then you hire a studio that is actually has some roots in an open world action RPG to deliver on the gameplay elements of that like gaming universe, bro. You got a banger. Because at this point, there's also I forgot to mention this. There is super cope with the Xenoverse fans because a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Xenoverse 3. So you have that angle as well.
I would probably become a One Piece fan if we see Xenoverse 3.
Y'all just got I think they just got a major update that has to do with the future arc or something like that.
Batman Vegeta outfit as a character, bro. Is that
I just I understand. Listen, bro, but Xenoverse it's not like they abandoned Xenoverse 2. You guys are continuously getting updates, major story updates and things of that nature throughout these years. It's crazy. So I understand, but it's we really don't, in my opinion, we don't need a Xenoverse 3. I don't see the need for it. Fighters, with them announcing Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku and also the major update that we've had, I would say that we don't need a Fighters 2. Just announce a new season. And Sparking Zero, I don't need that again. We already got it. Just update the game. So at this point, what we really need is a solid single player Dragon Ball game. And again, you have a solid foundation with Kakarot. Give Cyber Connect to the bag. Give the bag to an actual gaming studio that can do open world action RPGs. You're good to go. That's what I want.
The only multiplayer aspect that game would need would be co-op. That's it.
Yep.
I will love that because it will remind me of what Dragon Ball Sagas, which was ass on the PS2 GameCube, but that had co-op on it where you can play as Gohan and Krillin and Namek and stuff like that. That would be really perfect world scenario.
I like the sound of that.
Imagine literally you Trunks and Vegeta fighting Perfect Cell, just eat that L, man. Hilarious, G. But either way, that would be perfect world scenario. Would be that. Like anything else, look, you fighter the game out. It's been fighter game hoarded out.
I don't need a
almost
3D action
15
arena,
years.
or I don't need that at this point. I'm tired of it.
Look, the fighting game genre has been hoarded out, man. So please just give people some single player, enjoy the story, appreciate the story, and all. Yeah, we know what's going to happen.
Anniversary of Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Let's
we know what the
that.
story is, but at the same time, like if you put love into it, like Kakarot has love into it. It's just it could be a better game, but from Dragon Ball on, and then just put a bunch of what if scenarios, and then the open world aspect makes everything loads better.
Kakarot was fire until everything after the Frieza saga. It's like they put their budget on everything up to Namek. After that, that game was so bad.
And then they got they got a slight pay increase in the Buu saga.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
But the Cell thing, people was hurt.
You know, the Cell saga completely sucked in that game. It completely sucked in that game. But again, like if you can actually, again, solid foundation, you just need to build upon it. But that's, I think, but even regardless of the two big announcements that we are coping over, there's still a lot of good things for other fans, like other things that are out right now for fans of Dragon Ball. So it is something for all of us to look forward to and all of us to celebrate the 40th year anniversary of Dragon Ball. So mark your calendars for January 25th, 2026. Let us know in the comment section down below. What are you coping for? For a game, for anime, movie, whatever. Let us know in the comment sections down below. And then on to our last piece of gaming news.
All right. And before you guys start that, I'm about to peace out. I got to take care of something real quick. But appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check out Threes from the Ring, last week's episode and this week's episode. You guys be smooth. I'll talk to y'all later.
Arrivederci.
All right. So again, on to our last piece of gaming news. We have Sony versus Tencent. So now if you don't know what this is, there's a lot of moving parts to this. So I'll try to condense it down as best as I can. So Sony, so this more so pertains to Horizon Zero Dawn versus Tencent's recently announced Light of Motorim. So when that game was first announced, everybody was like, okay, this is Horizon Zero Dawn clone. And this wasn't necessarily like you have to search real hard to nitpick whether or not it was copying Horizon Zero Dawn or not. No, this was a blatant like art style, the way the game was presented. It was clearly like, okay, this is the meme of like, yeah, you can copy my homework, but change some things about it. That's what Tencent did. So this kind of boiled down into like kind of Sony essentially kind of was like, all right, you know what? We're going to try to present this to court. And now, so currently right now, Sony is trying to get this case to go into court, and Tencent is trying to get it removed so that they don't go to court. And essentially like Tencent's argument was that like, oh, Sony is trying to monopolize this like the genre of like this whole post-apocalyptic with mechs and paired off with like this prehistoric style thing, and like really kind of trying to like loophole the argument as far as like, oh, Sony's just trying to own everything. They're not trying to protect their IP of Horizon Zero Dawn. What they're trying to do is just monopolize sort of the idea of the genre of which Horizon Zero Dawn is set up. And Sony's argument is like, no, like you are blatantly like copying our art style, our presentation. The public even agrees, like the public sentiment for your IP is that it is a blatant Horizon Zero Dawn copy. And they're like, we're not trying to monopolize the action open world, because the two games, as far as from a gameplay perspective, are different, right? Mm-hmm. Light of Mortem is more so like a survival open world game, and it also has elements more similar to Monster Hunter, whereas Horizon Zero Dawn is more of an open world action adventure game. So gameplay wise, they're different, but the presentation of Light of Mortem, if you look at that game, you immediately think Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's Sony's main argument for that. Also, another argument that Tencent tried to coin is that like they were like, like they met up with Sony, and initially this kind of the reason why Light of Mortem is a thing is because they met up with Sony, and they were coining this idea of a collaboration where Tencent would kind of make a game that's set in the Horizon Zero Dawn universe, and Sony was like, no, we don't want no parts of that. So I almost feel like this game is kind of a petty maneuver by Tencent to kind of tip the line. Also, they did try to do that with Last of Us, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see later down the pipeline Tencent trying to release something that is very similar in terms of looks to Last of Us, so be on the lookout for that. But another argument that Tencent made was that technically this game is not being developed. Like they don't have a part in this. This is kind of like one of its subsidiaries. And if you go to the Steam page right now, you'll see that the game is listed under a different development studio name. But Sony was like, again, no. If you look at the patent for the IP is under Tencent's name. Everything about the game is under Tencent's name. So if you like the website domain is under Tencent's name. So everything points back to you. So I don't want to coin this because like this is $1 billion corporations fighting against each other. I'm not necessarily trying to take a side, but Sony has a solid argument against Tencent and the fact that like, yeah, I mean, even if you looked at the original advertisement for the game, I believe on the Steam page, the first time it was like this kind of anime girl that looked very similar to Aloy. Now, if you look at it, they changed it to where like he's these like little mech robots. So like you can kind of see them doing some stuff in the shadows, and Tencent trying to coin this whole thing as a like, you're trying to monopolize the IP or trying to push it on. Like, no, it's not me. It's my little brother. He's the one that copied your homework. I didn't copy your homework, but like, no, it's a subsidiary. You are the parent company. So it's any action that it does is liable to you as well. So I think Sony has a solid argument to take this on to court. Now, whether or not what happens afterwards, we'll have to see. But that's kind of the current situation of what's going on with Sony and Tencent. So, Detro, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, to be honest with you, when thinking about it, it's such a weird thing. Because the reason I say it's so weird is because I think gaming out of all original IPs is the hardest to determine what's fair use and what's not fair use. Mm-hmm. What can I use in my game compared to what you can use in your game? But when you look at stuff like Tencent is blatantly saying, we're going to steal what you make and just make a live service game out of it. And I think on that aspect, I side with Sony. But then you look at other things like kind of like what Power World did of taking a pocket monster genre and making it its own. Well, I definitely side with the Power World.
You side with Power World, not Nintendo.
Yeah, not Nintendo. So it's such a weird thing. Fair use in gaming is so weird because in some aspects you want IPs to keep what makes them individuals, and then you'll get stuff like the Nemesis system and be like, I kind of wish other studios can take part in this. Like, imagine Ghost of Yotei with the Nemesis system, stuff like that. So it's a weird thing. I do think though that Tencent and a lot of other companies are too blatant with their plagiarism though. Like, let some stuff breathe. Like that one game that's coming out that was showed at like the Sony showcase, and I'm surprised Sony ain't pull up on them dudes.
Oh, you're talking about Anata?
Yeah, with the Spider-Man and stuff like that. Like, Like, what we doing? In all honesty, what we doing? And then not just that, they got the GTA character change and stuff like that. And it's so much of saying, and you can't defend it. It's literally saying, I like what you did in your game. We gonna do it too, but ours gonna be last service so we can make money on it for years to come. And it's just so weird that companies get to do that, and somehow it's fair use. You know what I mean? Is weird. It's a weird, not necessarily conversation, because I don't know what's the answer to it. Because I do want mechanics from other games to be used with studios that can make good of it, right? But like, say for instance, you got Ghost of Yotei. I know we talk about a lot on this podcast, but it's the only game in my memory. You take that, the combat, and you make a Ninja Turtle game out of it from a different company. I would love to see like the different move sets for Leonardo, Donatello, and all them with like the combat from Ghost of Yotei. But do that hurt Sucker Punch and things of that nature? Or you go, and the game just was in my head and it left. Oh, like the Vampire Survivor genre thing, right?
Yeah.
You got Mega Bomb. That's going absolutely crazy. I hate that I'm losing focus on my cam. But Mega Bump is going absolutely crazy. But do that hurt the Vampire Survivors devs? Because it's basically just 3D Vampire Survivor. But Vampire Survivor is just Gothic. I forget what the mobile game was called that they got the idea from. So it's all like a crazy situation. But on this aspect, I sat with Sony because Tencent knew what they was doing.
Yeah,
Sony's
I mean, literally, the precedent to this is that they wanted to have a collaboration to do a game within the Horizon Zero Dawn universe. Most likely, it would be a live service game, and Sony was like,
no.
"Nah, we're not gonna do that." So again, like I said, it almost feels like a petty move on their part, where it's just like, "Okay, well, we'll just make a legally distinct version of Horizon," but like they didn't even make it legally distinct enough, because if you look at some of the art style for this game, seriously, look at some of the art styles for this game, it is very much blatantly like, oh, this is Horizon Zero Dawn. Like it's not, they didn't even try. Now, like if it was like, okay, we're making a game that is post-apocalyptic future, prehistoric mixed up with like mech stuff, but like it was like very distinct as far as like their own art style and characters and stuff like that. It's just that the world or the setting is similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, then that would be a different story. Then you could argue Sony trying to monopolize, but this kind of boils into a more a sort of from an artistic presentation standpoint of like, nah, you are trying to steal like the visuals, the like. Again, people look at this game and their first thought is not, oh, look, a brand new Tencent IP stored in a prehistoric post-apocalyptic mech world. No, they go Horizon Zero Dawn. So there's your argument right there, Tencent, as to why Sony is pursuing this. And again, people are going to go look at, like you mentioned before, with the Nintendo and Power World stuff. And here's the key word. We've been saying this across multiple podcasts. That's the beauty of nuance. These are two completely different scenarios. One is a scenario where it is very blatant of like plagiarism. The other is more so like, hey, we're taking a mechanic, but we're going to infuse it with our own gameplay. Because you look at Power World and you look at Pokemon, they are two completely different things from a gameplay presentation. The only thing you could have argued, and Nintendo didn't pursue this, was the likeness of the Pokemon in the PALs. But in their lawsuit, that's not what they pursued. They were pursuing gameplay mechanics and things of that nature. They weren't pursuing like, oh, these Pokemon look very similar to like this Pokemon looks like this PAL looks like our Pokemon. And that's originally when people were talking about the lawsuit between Power World and Nintendo. People were thinking that it was going to be from that standpoint, from the plagiarism aspect of like Pokemon and PALs looking very similar to each other. but Nintendo chose to pursue the lawsuit more for us from a gameplay mechanic standpoint, and that's why we are siding with Power World, because it's like, okay, you don't own flight. Like there's a bunch of games that have flight mechanics. There's a bunch of games in which you capture monsters or summons and you use them as your own. So that's the nuance of it. We're talking about plagiarism versus fair use of gameplay mechanics. And so that's kind of like, that's what it boils down to, because a lot of people are going to go like, well, you should be siding with Nintendo then. It's like, no, because Nintendo pursued the lawsuit wrong.
And I think Nintendo didn't go for the characters itself because they know they'll lose that. So they went through something that they know they can win, but not only win, cripple Power World, because you're going for specifics of just catching and throwing, catching and releasing. That voids a lot in that game. You know what I mean? Yep. You got to create the game different, not from the ground up, but just on basic mechanics. So that's why I think Nintendo was like out for blood with their lawsuit in terms of, we're not only going to try to get money from you, we're going to try to ruin your game.
We want to destroy Power World. We don't want there to be such thing as a Power World.
And I blame a lot of fanfare for saying this game is better than Pokemon. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, they look into the Digimon game that's doing really, really well and have some conversations about that. But yeah, but I agree with what you said. And, you know, only time will tell. But for some kind of reason in my gut, I think Tencent get away with this. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. The most I could see is essentially they can't promote or sell the game on Sony, like on any like Sony platform, so like PlayStation. But they'll probably sell it on like Nintendo, PC, or whatever other storefront allows them to sell the game. And that's pretty much it. I feel like, because Tencent, again, China, huge oodles of money, buckets of money, lots of money. So if they want to stall this lawsuit out as much as they can, they have the money and power to do so. So it again, only time will tell. But again, as far as, you know, us, we're not necessarily shilling for Sony as a corporation, because again, just because they may be right on this thing does not mean that it null and voids everything else that we have complaints about the company for. It's just that for this, again, nuance, for this particular topic, it's blatant plagiarism, and I think Sony has a right to take this to court and see what happens. So again, let us know your thoughts in the comment sections down below as far as your whole thoughts on this situation. We want to engage with you all. And so that's it for news. So Daytrail, you had this in our notes, and so I just put it as main discussion.
Oh man, Chris, it wasn't no main discussion. To be honest with you, for niggas who listening, I want the farmer TikTok clip, and I want the ad because I never got niggas answers for this, and I'm always fascinated with knowing more about my friends. I want to know, who is y'all hear me out? So I was perusing through TikTok, and some people was like, you know, when people say hear me out, nobody ever gives something good. People be like Lola Bunny or things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's weird cracking a bunny, but they knew what they were doing when they made Lola Bunny. And I was like, I want to hear people real hear me out. He was like, yeah, one of mine is Muriel from Curls to Calorie Dog. Janice Soprano, which is crazy. If you know Soprano's crazy. And I wanted to know, like, hey, what does my friends hear me out in media that, or a game or something like that? They'd be like, not everybody else rock with it, but I'll rock with it. One of mine, personally, is that you got to be a little bit older. But I remember I used to wake up in the middle of the night and watch Adult Swim, and home movies used to come on. And that nigga's mother on home movies, great. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't tell you why. I can't give you different reasons of why I feel this way about that drawn woman, but I do. That's one of my hear me outs. Another one is different cartoon. My mama watched these clips, so mama, you know, you found more out about your son that you probably did not want to know. Another one from a cartoon. Have you ever seen this show called Mighty B? Back in the Nickelodeon days, she was like
I think so.
She was like a Girl Scout, but she was like, it was like the Beehive or something like that.
Mighty B.
If you ever seen her mama on that show, crazy. Like, you can look it up. You can look up Mighty B mom. Yeah. 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 They gave her dreadlocks too. So they know she was going for the niggas, bro.
They did. They did give a dread. Yeah, I remember this show. Yeah. See, yeah, I wish you had asked this like towards the beginning, because like I don't have.
You ain't got nothing. Some people said Charlotte Lindley was theirs, man. I was like, hey, that's crazy.
Nah, cause like niggas, cause it would be her in her prime, and that's not a hear me out, cause her in her prime, she was that she's like elite. I can understand why she was always pretty much pregnant. But yeah, I at the top of my mind, I can't think of anyone. But hey, maybe I'll get back to you
next week
podcast
with Chris on here. Next week with Chris and you on here. I need to know these things. We gonna give you here. We go be able to elite farm these TikTok clips, man. Also, one last hear me out for the niggas that's paying attention to this pod. And this is a real person. Patricia Paytas. Hear me out on that. I know that's crazy. You gotta look it up. Paytas. Paytas. Trisha Paytas. Hey,
I see.
No shame in my game. I am what I am. I'm saved. I'm a saved man, and I am what I am. Okay, but yeah, I just want to have some fun with the homies, because we do a lot of like not serious, but we do a lot of like talking discussions and stuff like that. And I wanted to get a nice little. It would be an icebreaker, but I can't do that with my youth group. I get put out. So that's it.
So that'll be but again, so I'll let you know next week what my hear me outs are. But hey, for those who have been paying attention, hey, let us know in the comment section who y'all hear me outs is, man. Let's see if you got some legit ones and not just some like, yeah, you was TikTok farming with that one, bro. So yeah, we'll go ahead, wrap things up with that solid episode. Talked a lot about some things, gaming, anime, newsworthy stuff. So again, if any of those topics were interesting to you, again, we want to engage with y'all. Let us know your thoughts below, how you feel about those things, and we will respond accordingly. Also, you know what I'm saying? Just one more reminder to like, comment, and subscribe. And for all of the returning listeners and new listeners who stuck around for the whole thing, you a real one, and I appreciate you. And with all that being said, guys, we will see you guys next week. And also, in the meanwhile, be on the lookout for Threes from the Ring and some also upcoming Gotcha on the Gotcha content throughout the week as well. All that being said, guys, stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.
Peace.